So in today's deeper dive that we're going to do today, we're going to be talking about the number one exercise that's going to be the best one for developing strength in the upper body. If you're in your 50s and 60s, no doubt you may have noticed that you're starting to deteriorate in strength, and particularly in the upper body. So this particular exercise, everyone knows what it is, it's no surprise, but there's lots of different variations to it. So the exercise that I'm talking about for the upper body is push-ups. Now, for most of you, doing a push-up from your toes is going to be well and beyond your strength level. In all honesty, I don't have many female clients that are in their 50s and 60s that can do a push-up from their toes. And if they can, it's probably 1, 2, or 3. So over the years, we've come up with lots and lots of different ways, different variations to still getting the benefits from the push-up exercise, but just a regressed version. Now, there's tons and tons of different ways that you can do it, but there's 4 ways in particular that I've found that are the most effective ways and the most doable for most people that are in their 50s and 60s, including females in particular. There are 2 other variations that are okay. We do use them sometimes, but they do have limitations, and I'm going to explain them all 6 exercises, showing you exactly how to progress them, which level of order that I would recommend to start them from, and which progressions you can build up as you develop strength. So let's go to it now. I'm going to run you through the first one. Our first variation of the push-up is against the wall. Now, this is the most basic version of a push-up, and to be honest, for most people, this is going to be too basic and it's going to be too easy, and we can't really make it harder, because when you move your hands lower, which would normally make it harder, it creates a really sharp angle on the wrist and it's uncomfortable. So instead of doing it this way, the way that I prefer to do it is like this. Our first variation on an elevated surface. So a table can be a good surface. Like generally for most clients, I find that doing it on a kitchen bench top is a really good height. And the benefit of doing it this way is that we can go all the way down, we can keep a straight body, and we can also pick heights that are a little bit lower to make it more challenging as we get stronger. And it's a lot easier than doing it from the floor. On an elevated surface, so a table variation is that this is a common variation that's used. We use it sometimes, but the drawback with this, so it's just a kneeling push-up. What I find is a lot of people sag through the lower back, and it's hard to keep a good lower back positioning with this exercise. So generally, I tend to steer away from this one. It's a fine exercise if you can keep the core locked in and you can keep a good posture, but I prefer this one. So this is a pendulum push-up. So what we do is we're doing pretty much the same thing, but our hips a bit more bent and we have our knee grounded. The other leg stays in line with the rest of our torso. So you're like a pendulum. So the upper body goes down, the leg goes up, the upper body goes up, the leg goes down. And that leg in our body helps to keep us in a good straight alignment and keep our lower back in good posture. The next one that I like to do, and this is a level up, is that we can use cushions or pillows to soften the bottom angle of the bottom range of the push-up. So you can see the pillows will squash as I go down into it. And you can I've got 3 pillows, you can do 4, it depends how thick they are, but it takes the emphasis out of the bottom range, which makes it a lot easier. And this is a level up, is that we can use. Then the final variation is that I like to do it where we go from the toes and we start off the toes, we touch the knees as we go down. You can do it for the bottom half of the range. You can do it for the bottom third of the range, the bottom 2/3. Depending on when you touch the knees to the ground, that'll make it easier, obviously, but we're still training that top end of the range from our toes. So these are my favorite variations, and these are the ones that I recommend to build up your strength from, regressing it from doing a full push-up. These regressions are really good ways of building the strength up at a level of intensity. You can pick the level of intensity that's going to be appropriate for your current strength level. And it's a fantastic way of still being able to utilize the push-up exercise and get the benefits from developing the upper body strength, but with a version that's going to be doable for you.